Hey, what up, G-Fan? Your boy is back with another video. And today, boys, we about to go over some fragrances that people consider overhyped. I'm gonna go through these 10 fragrances and give you my opinion if these fragrances are overhyped. And some of these fragrances, honestly, are just straight up freaking bangers. So we're gonna start off with the first fragrance on this list that people considered overhyped. For the first one, we have Jean Paul Gaultier Le Male Parfum. Now, me personally, when a lot of people say this fragrance is overhyped, I believe they're out of their freaking mind. This fragrance to me has to be one of the best classics from the house of Jean Paul Gaultier. That lavender, that vanilla, that absolutely sexy cardamom. This fragrance is a phenomenal fragrance that smells absolutely amazing. So if you're thinking that this fragrance is overrated, man, I think you need to check this fragrance out again, because I'm telling you, this fragrance is a classic freaking beast. So for the second fragrance that people are considered overrated, we're gonna go into the house of Dolce & Gabbana, and it's not the one, it is Light Blue Forever. Now, for me personally, this can go either or, because Light Blue Forever is a fragrance that you kind of really gotta gravitate to that grapefruit freaking vibe. Now, don't get me wrong, I personally love the fragrance, and it's a fragrance that I'll be wearing this spring. This fragrance is good, it is sexy, it is delicious, it is mouth-watering, and I'm telling you, this is gonna be gravitated more for those individuals who love that delicious, mouth-watering grapefruit freaking vibe. Now, is this fragrance overrated? In my opinion, I would say yes, because once again, you have to love the grapefruit freaking vibe, and it's not a fragrance that's gonna draw attention as you want it to. Now, if you're an individual who loves just smelling the fragrance, you don't care about getting compliments, you don't care about what other people think about the fragrance, you just care about smelling the fragrance, you love the fragrance, and you love wearing the fragrance, then this fragrance is gonna be perfect for you. And I'm telling you, boys, it's a fragrance that your boy is gonna be wearing all spring long. So now we're gonna go into the next fragrance, and this is from the house of Versace, and we have here is Versace Hawaii for him Ice. Now, I don't know if people sleeping under a rock or whatever the case might be, boys, but I'm gonna tell you something, this fragrance is absolutely phenomenal. It is fresh, sweet, aquatic, absolutely sexy, it is seductive, and it's perfect for those fall, winter, and even springtime situation. And as a bonus, boys, this fragrance projects like a freaking savage. All right, this fragrance has some crazy longevity, crazy projection. It gets you noticed pretty much everywhere you freaking go, man. This fragrance is an absolute savage. So if you guys think that this fragrance is overrated, man, I completely disagree. If anything, I believe every individual should have this fragrance in their collection, especially if you're into that fresh, sweet freaking vibes and you love fragrance that projects and gets compliments. This is an easy getter of a fragrance. Everybody should have this beast of a fragrance in their collection. So now moving on to the next fragrance. Now this is gonna be a clone to Creed Aventus, and we have here is Supremacy Collector's Edition from the house of Afnan. Now overall, just to get straight to the point, this fragrance can pretty much be kind of overrated. Why? Because it's a Creed Aventus clone, and pretty much there's plenty of Creed Aventus clone fragrances out there on the market. Now, me personally, this has gravitated to me to be one of my favorite Creed Aventus clone fragrances because it has crazy performance, and the pineapple in this fragrance is absolutely freaking delicious. All right, guys, so you do have like a Creed Aventus clone in, let's say, Versace Hawaii's Black. That's a phenomenal fragrance, but that goes more into an earthy vibe. This one in particular goes more into a pineapple sexy juicy vibe. Then you have Club Dinner Wheat Intense, but that goes more in the citrus bergamot kind of a vibe. This for me has to be one of the best accurate clone with the best performance out of all the clones out there in the market for me. Is this fragrance overrated? To me, yes. Why? Because Creed Aventus is a clone that had been duplicated several freaking times. All right, so pretty much pick your poison. After Supremacy Oud as your Creed Aventus clone, then boys, go with this beast of a fragrance. If any, go with any other Creed Aventus clone. You're gonna be killing it either way. So moving on next, we go into the house of Xerjoff, and we have here is Herba Buddha. Now, for people saying that this fragrance is absolutely overrated, that's kind of crazy to me, all right? Because if you love fruity fragrances that just straight up projects like a freaking savage, this fragrance pretty much bring that to the table, and it smells phenomenal. I don't know how many compliments I have gotten from this fragrance, but it is absolutely insane. Like, if you love fruity bombs, you love that strawberry, that grapefruit, grape, whatever the case might be, you just love all that fruity, juicy fragrance in your fragrance, and you love fragrances that project, this fragrance has to be easily top 3 or maybe even top 2 best beast mode fruity beast of a fragrance on the freaking market. If you guys think that this fragrance is overrated for whatever reason, let me know what fruity fragrance will you recommend over this one. There's other fragrances that I do like that is fruity and is sexy as hell. God of Fire and Sacred Flame. Both of those fruity fragrances are absolutely savage, and even this one right here. So do I think this is overrated? Absolutely not. If anything, this is a must buy if you love fruity beast fragrances. Moving on, next we have here is Dior Sauvage Elixir. Now this right here can go either way depending how you want to look at it. Me personally, I had nothing but the best of the best experience when it comes to Dior Sauvage Elixir. A matter of fact, I have recommended this fragrance several times to individuals, and they tell me that this has to be one of the best recommendations that I have given them. All right, there's a guy that I know, he drives an Uber, he's an Uber driver. He sprayed this fragrance on, it lingers in his car, and every time somebody gets in his car, they be telling him, yo, you smell freaking good. There's another guy in my job that I recommended this fragrance. He said, yo, that Dior Sauvage fragrance that you recommended me, it smells freaking amazing, bro. So I'm telling you boys, this fragrance is phenomenal, and as a bonus, it is a beast mode projection. All right, so this fragrance also is going to gravitate more to the older individuals. So if you're more like in your 21s and older and you're looking to get your game on, then this fragrance is perfect for you. But if you're a teenager and you're still living your little life, then you should go with the original Dior, as those are the Dior Sauvage, as those fragrances for me personally is meant more for the young individual. This fragrance right here is spicy, warm, cozy, inviting, and absolutely sexy and absolutely seductive with beast performance. So do I think this fragrance is overrated? Absolutely not. This fragrance is absolutely amazing. So moving on to the next fragrance, we're gonna go with Stronger With You Absolutely. Now, if this fragrance is overrated, I think this is strongly depends on you, because the Stronger With You DNA is pretty much everywhere. The Stronger With You from Emporio Armani have made multiple flankers that they all pretty much smell very similar to one another. The best part about the whole Stronger With You line is that you normally will pick your personal favorite fragrance, all right? So if you love the boozy, sexy, seductive vibe like your boy, you will go with Absolutely. If you want something a little bit more delicious, a little bit more sweeter, you can go with Intensely. A little more dark, bold for a confident individual, you can go with Oud or Leather, all right? So the whole Stronger With You DNA could be a bit played out, but it gives you versatility for which fragrance you want to pick from the house. So if you feel that the Stronger With You DNA is overrated, I think that strongly depends on the individual, because for me, Stronger With You Absolutely is a phenomenal fragrance, and it pulls nothing but freaking compliments, and it smells freaking phenomenal. But for others, people prefer Intensely. So once again, it all depends on you, which fragrance from the Stronger With You line you prefer. So going to the next fragrance, we're gonna go here with Angel Share from the house of by Kilian. And to think that people think that this fragrance is absolutely overrated, to me is absolutely mind-blowing. This fragrance is absolutely sexy. It is boozy. It is seductive. It is perfect for date night. It's perfect for the fall and winter time situation, and it's a compliment freaking puller. This fragrance is absolutely amazing. And another reason why I feel this fragrance is not overrated is because out of pretty much every fragrance from the licorice line from by Kilian, this is the best one. This fragrance is just absolutely phenomenal. There's not one time I put this bad boy on and did not get a freaking compliment. All right, so if you love that sexy, delicious, boozy, you love that cinnamon freaking vibe, and you love fragrances for date night, this fragrance, I'm telling you, it is an absolute savage. So this fragrance to me is not overrated. It is a masterpiece from the house of by Kilian. So now we're gonna jump into the next fragrance on this list, and this is gonna be Baccarat Rouge $540. Now, is this fragrance overhyped? Is a tough thing to decide because this fragrance is a very popular DNA that a lot of people love, especially the females, all right? There is a lot of clones of this fragrance and everybody pretty much has somewhat level of a clone to this fragrance. So pretty much a lot of people smell very similar. Can I say the smell can be a little bit outdated? Absolutely, because for me as a person who's into fragrances, I kind of get tired smelling this fragrance. To know if this fragrance is overhyped is tough to say, but the fragrance still smells good. It's a good performer. It projects, it has good longevity, and it smells amazing. The only downside when it comes to Baccarat Rouge itself, a lot of people tend to go nose blind and get confused that the fragrance no longer is working, it's no longer projecting, it's no longer lasting, all right? So people normally goes to nose blind, but I'm telling you, this fragrance is still phenomenal, all right? This to me gives me this nice, sexy, cotton candy freaking vibe, and it smells delicious, smells seductive, and it is perfect. For me and my title of the fragrance smell, absolutely. But as you can see, your boy put a dent on this fragrance. I did enjoy it when I was rocking it, but is it overrated? It's tough to say, but the fragrance does smell absolutely good.